day. Pillars of gold. We got the golden race right here in the top right side. That was because they're, you know, the color gold, not because I'm making some weird comments about something else. I think people who see me cast before, they know that I don't hate any particular race. I'm not. All right, I'm going into this way too much. Anyway, he is Janek Greenwings. Trap. In the bottom left side, there's a blue Zerg fighting for the Kaisi Gamers. He is Solar. Solar managed to play up against Cure yesterday. Was that yesterday? I think it was. Yeah, pretty sure it was. Going up against Cure yesterday in a best of 7. Being able to take that series all the way to game number 7 and then taking the entire series. Is that going to translate here into his ZVP matchup as well? Versus Trap. Trap and Cure, definitely a little bit comparable in skill level. So it looks like Solar overall is in good shape. But then, to be fair, he did lose a best of 5 versus Bjorn as well earlier that day. In a clean sweep fashion. Even though Bjorn had, well, a numb hand. So, yeah, it's GSL format. Do they play one game, then one game? I'm confused at the format. So this is what happens, right? We have 4 players. We have 2 best of 3s initially. Then, after those best of 3s, 2 players will be the winners, right? They'll be playing against each other. Whoever wins that winners match is going to be advancing forward into the next group, which is the same format as this group. Now, the 2 losers, right, from these 2 initial best of 3s, well, they will be playing in the loser match. The player that loses that match as well will be kicked out of the tournament. And the player that manages to win that loser match is going to go up against the loser of the winner match. That's the deciders match. The deciders match is where we see which final player in this group will be able to move on forwards. You get it? Alright, well, maybe I over-explained it there a little bit, but you know what? Gave me something to talk about. Stargate opening here for Trap. It is in his own base. We'd like to see that Oracle play from Trap. Thank you, Sun Lily. Perfect. Alright, nice. I mean, to be fair, most people will be sufficient with just saying it's the GSL formats, right? Not a lot of people that are watching here that do not, well, haven't watched the GSL at some former point in time. And if there are, well, welcome. Welcome to StarCraft 2. This is one of the first times you're watching, maybe. Glad to have you here. Also, Pop-Up Mitch, thank you for that subscription, by the way. 4 months right now in a row. Much appreciated, my man. Helping out Alpha X, helping out, well, me as well. With these Twitch subscriptions. That's awesome, dude. Awesome. Okay, so we opened up with a Void Ray right here. Now, the Void Ray is a bit of a multi-purpose tool in this scenario. It's kind of the thing that took over from the initial Phoenix opening, right? Unless if you want to go more into Phoenix, that would make sense as well for a harassment style purpose. They still take the crown in that one. But the Void Ray here, more so the tool they, you know, Protoss like to use for clearing up overlords. The movement speed allows them to more quickly go across the map, get rid of all the overlords that may still be hitting somewhere, and then you still have it available for any type of defensive purposes, right? If there's suddenly a big swell of roaches coming your way, you're going to be able to have that Void Ray just continuously pummeling those roaches from the sky, so makes that very, very nice. Reasonable swell of links here. It's not going to be able to get anything done. The depth should be more than enough. Bit surprised how much actually Solar went into that third base right there. He's going to check the main door. The depths are on hold position. Yeah, nothing you can really do though. So depths now actually not in the right position That could be just Trap trying to lure Solar into that location and then just plop himself between the two mineral patches. Would work just as well. Oh, missed the status trap there. But apparently Solar didn't, so that's nice to see. Void Ray still only on 2 picks so far. Solar is still trying to just wiggle himself in here. Trying to figure out what else is coming his way, and it will be a lot of adepts right now. Did not see the adepts, actually still only seeing 2 of those adepts. He is making the preparations, though, it looks like. He's making a spine crawler in his third, that is very important. He's making roaches. It looks like he smelled what is in the waters here and is grabbing all the tools necessary to try and hold this off as best as possible. That is still a absolutely terrifying amount of adepts, though, that is coming in here. 10 more roaches on the production queue. They need to hurry up and get out of here, because they need to help out with this situation. Debs do manage to squeeze their way into the main base. The drones, you know what, this is a very nicely positioned roach here. Holding off a lot of them. But, yeah, you know, you need more than just holding off a couple of them, because, well, there's a ton of adepts right now. 5 workers so far, very quickly becoming 10, 13, 14. More adepts actually in the third base. That's why it's going up so quickly right now. 17 workers, and yeah, that is a great amount of damage there being found by Trap. Quite heavily committing to it as well, but only losing 10 adepts, so that was more than worth it. That was an absolutely fantastic bit of damage right there for Trap. Those roaches were not out in time. Now a roach bush here could still come into play as a bit of a counter. Try to get that aggression going on the other side, but we already have that Void Ray, of course, and Trap being so incredibly smart. Moving that Void Ray forwards, he's like, alright, well, if you are coming across, you're not going to have anything that shoots upwards. I know you don't have a Hydrus, I know you don't have a Spio or anything like that, so I can just have my Void Ray shoot at all these roaches as they are coming in from across the field. Okay, yeah, I mean, it looks like Solar is just committing more into trying to reclaim his drone counts here. Making more drones, Evo chamber on the way. He is just going to try to tack up here. Going to be interesting to see where he wants to tack up into. Is he going to go into Hydrus? I think that would be the logical way to play this, right? Going in for those Hydrus and then eventually perhaps into the Lurkers. Something very cost efficient would need to be played here. Seeing how much damage he took earlier on. You need some form of efficient trading. There's that Hydrant Den and the Infestation Pit. Yeah, it looks like it will be the Lurkers here. Alright, well there we can see the income advantage right now. Not really in the Zerg favor where they would like it to be. So Trap in a good solid position. Keeping our eye on the production tab as well, we see the Robo and the Robo Bay on the way for Trap also. Is that another status trap? No, okay. Did manage to push away that Oracle. But yeah, so the Robo and the Robo Bay here. Is he going to go straight into the Disruptors? I would assume he's going to make a couple of Colossi here, right? And then go into those Disruptors. Disruptors very efficient though against roaches, Hydras, and of course the Lurkers also. I'm really enjoying this heavy commitment to the Immortals as well. He knows that Solar is on the roach stack right now. A logical way to take that is, of course, those Lurkers. I mean, if I call it, then probably Trap has that on his mind as well. And having those Immortals around, it's going to keep you safe against any type of roach attack. And they're going to be very, very useful if Solar ever wants to make it happen with the Lurkers as well, right? You're going to already be prepared for that. With having these hefty tanking units that dish out so much damage against those underground spine-shooting boys. Alright, good scout there with the hallucinated Phoenix. Seeing a couple of Hydralisks there. I didn't quite see any Lurker eggs or Lurkers on the way. Anything like that. But you can kind of infer, right, that this will be a logical place to take it. You're not going to sit here on Roach Hydra. That is just not something anybody does anymore. Already having hive tech available as well. Lurker upgrades on the way, and there's the disruptors now as well. So entirely skipping the Colossi, and that's probably the best way to do this as well. Colossi, they're pretty cool. They work well against Hydras and Roaches, but against the Lurkers they don't do as much, unfortunately. So the disruptors here is the way to take it. And Trap moving out. Maybe Trap anticipating there not being quite any sort of Lurkers tech available just quite yet. Or maybe just putting enough faith in his disruptor control and those Immortals here to shut them down before they get any efficient trading going. Bit of Solar's front line there, the tanking force of the Hydras and the Roaches getting picked off for now. There's also a big attack on the left side. I want to kind of quickly... Oh my god, what is this Lurker Den doing here? Why is it here? Oh god, that could be targeted down rather quickly here. I would not be too surprised if that actually does get picked off. Not going to be the case. The hatchery on the left side, that is going to get picked off though. Trap's still in a position here to come back in. I mean, he could just send that Void Ray, snipe it down before that upgrade completes. He's getting Storm also. Alright, here we are coming back around again. There's the Disruptor shots. Not finding anything so far. We definitely need to have Vipers with this kind of army composition of Solar as well. He's got Roaches available to try and defend this base now. Needs to keep this base alive for the time being. Alright, Lurkers back into the ground. They're all stacked up though. That's going to be some massive Disruptor hits. Look at those. And the Vipers did not come in time to cancel out those Disruptor shots. Let's take a look. A nice Blinding Cloud does safeguard these the rest of the Lurkers for a little bit. But this is still an army that needs to be chased down. And Lurk is not the best at chasing things down. Hydras, they are quite numerous. But with the Roaches here, yeah, it looks like he will be able to safeguard this base once again. Oh my god. Oh. Ouch. Ouch. That was rather disturbing. A lot of those disruptors getting absolutely massive connections right there. Zealots also, oh my god, he got another base here. He got the Lurker Den. He's doing so much right now. Trap is absolutely on fire. Looking like he is just taking full control here. This is just a combination of course, good Disruptor micro, being able to move around the map very wisely, figuring out where the Lurkers are mostly enforced. That's causing Solar to kind of... Oh my dear lord, that is... Yep, okay, well. Ooh. I think we may be approaching the mark here, guys. The point of no return. We'll try to go in about what really happened there for... what went into Trap's way in a moment. There it is. GG is called. So, yeah. One of the things is, of course, Trap continuously rotating around, coming in on the top side with Zealots everywhere. He was just multitasking very, very well there, and forcing Solar to continuously be going in from the left to the right, you know, being pulled apart continuously from the far right to the far left. And when that is happening to a Lurker player, then you're kind of just continuously uplifting and putting them down again as quickly as possible. You don't really have as much time to get the spread going. And yeah. So, it's a difficult thing to play against. Don't get me wrong. Really is. But there were some counterplay measures there that Solar could have made, and he did not get them into play there. One of them being the Vipers, of course. You know what? Just yoinking the Disruptors onto your Hydra Roach Lurkers. If you do that, you don't even need to unstack your Lurkers. It will be okay anyway. But Solar did not have those Lurkers in time, in the right, or the Vipers in time in the right position. And yeah, he lost a ton of Lurkers there because of it. He also came in before the upgrades of the Lurkers were already completed, right? So a lot of that fighting took place with the Lurkers still taking a long time to unburrow and burrow. They did have their range upgrade, but it was a difficult one to really take full advantage of right there. Nicely timed by Trap, and you can see why he is such a great player, right? Incorporating those immortals, just to kind of get him through the early game against those roaches, and then still having that much of a punching force behind it to try and hit a timing like that before the Lurkers really start having all their upgrades and become the incredible force that they can be. In the bottom right side, we have this man right here from the Jin Green Wings. He's the Red Protoss. He is fighting with 1 point on the board. Trap. His opponent in the top left side is a blue Zerg. Fighting for the Kaisi Gamers. He is Solar. If any Protoss can drop several and Rainer, it's Trap. Yeah, Trap definitely one of the players where you would expect this from, right? Or Stats, yeah, Stats as well. A fantastic player right there. It's funny how we can expect Stats to take on Rainer and Serral, but then every time Stats plays against Rogue, it's just like almost the opposite, right? We expect the opposite to happen. I guess that's what happens when you just have one of those GSL finals that just stand in the time of Memorial, just continuously, absolutely ingrained in everybody's frontal cortex. It's just like impossible to escape from. Is that where memories are stored? I don't know. It's where I think mostly, though. The frontal cortex. I don't know if that's where thinking happens. I'm not a brain guy, but I use that bit, I believe. Rogue is in the standard Zerg style. That is true as well. That is true as well. Still interesting, though, in my opinion. There's definitely some differences there, but the differences that are there are the ones that cause us to have such a different idea about those matchups, which is just fun overall as an idea for StarCraft II, right? It's not always just about the race. It's about how those races are being utilized, which is one of the most fun things to see in StarCraft II. Really, a game where people can show their skills, their kind of their personality, right? I know a lot of casters go on that point, but that is really one of the things that keep a lot of us into this game, right? Continuously coming back to it, loving it, and just being able to take it all in and enjoy it still after so many years. So that's going to beat anyone. He's just too inconsistent. Yeah. I mean, Zest, he's a player that heavily relies on his builds as well, right? He's very good at refining his builds. He's very good at just making his builds and then making it go into his favor. Make some really darn good stuff, right? Adept glaive attacks. Still happening up until to this day. I mean, hey, what's this? Glaive adept, it still happens, and it happens with a reason. Zest being able to kind of make that super popular. And yeah, he innovates so much, and whenever he innovates, that's when we see a big uptick in Zest most of the time. Sometimes his innovation's not quite as good as the previous ones, so that's when we can kind of scratch our head and be like, huh, is this Zest? What is he doing? What is happening here? But you know, when usually he comes out with something for the first time, it's gonna work. It is definitely gonna work. Can you see what upgrade your opponent is making? No, you cannot see what kind of upgrades is being constructed in a building. All you can see is the building kind of doing something, right? So let's take a look. Where can we see a building that is doing something? Guess not really anywhere here. Well, for example, if we press this, you would just see these things rotating a bit more. There's some things that we'll show it to you later on. Hopefully I'll remember. Right, Adept Glaives, here they are. Here they come. We need a lot of roaches right here. A good amount of links already available. Need to get on top of these Adepts to not let them escape. Queen's coming in here as well. They're still a little bit blocked before they can get to the War Prism. That's a bit unfortunate. Adept shading towards the main base. Let's see, there they go. Good surround though with those links. We'll be able to shut them down here. Not take as much damage as he did the previous time, but still taking a little bit. A lot less of a committed Adept Glaive attack anyway, right? From Trap here as in comparison to the previous one. War Prism still alive as well. Alive and kicking. Alright, so Trap. Dealing 6 workers in deaths right there. 9, 10 Adepts did get picked off. Looks like he... Oh, I thought he was going in here again. No, he's just trying to commit with some more Adepts. Alright, that makes sense. That makes sense. Third base here for Trap. That could be a problem, right? This could be the point of contention. If Solar manages to get a kill on this, get a cancel on this, that could be a big deal. It's up to Solar though if he wants to try and make a play like that. He's losing... Oh my god, he's losing so many more workers right now. 7 just like that. Just when you think things are calming down, suddenly he loses twice as many workers as he did initially to the... what was that? Like 14 Adepts, and now 4 Adepts come in and they are just as lethal, if not more lethal. It's the scary part about Adept play. You only need 2 of them to really do quite a number on your opponents. Now, something that is to note that could have helped out Solar here in this situation quite a bit is his Overlord coverage. And I know that the Overlord coverage, it's a bit of a point of contention because, well, if he'd spread them out a bit further forwards outside of creep, he would be able to have a much quicker reaction to these Adepts, right? And he would be able to see this War Prism coming in. So if he has like an Overlord over here, and over here, instead of 2 over here and, you know, 1 over there, he'd be able to see the War Prism come in, send units there more quickly. If he had Overlords over here as well, kind of on this area, then that would also help him out quite a bit. But not doing so. The reason why... Oh my god, is this actually all going to get picked off? What's he doing here? He's got all his units so spread out. Trap, what is going on with him? There's force fields on the top side. Actually, not getting force fields on the top side just quite yet. So the sentry's also going to go down. More Zerglings from the backside. Is that a force field right there? Why are they struggling so much? You can't even see the force fields. That is crazy. Alright, coming in here. Full on counter aggression. And a lot of the units for Trap here did get picked off. And this is where we were kind of pointing towards. This is a scary thing to have happen if you do go for Adept attack. You don't have that much back at home anymore because most of your stuff did go out in for the offensive, and Trap has to tap out here. The series does get tied up. That was a surprise, honestly, having all those units for Trap just scattered out in the map everywhere. Definitely not what was supposed to happen there. Very, very uncommon, uncharacteristic mistake there from Trap. Very weird. Very weird. Especially all those the sentries, right? They are the backbone to hold something like that. That was the sloppiest shit I've ever seen out of Trap. Lol. That really was, wasn't it? That really was. What were those units doing there? Gemini coming in, laying down the truth right there. I mean, to be fair, Gemini, right now, if he ever comes into your chat and talks shit, you can refer back to this game. Right? If he ever comes in and tells you that everything is late, well then, you got some gunpowder right now in your arsenal. Well, at least I didn't send my immortals one by one all over the map, to like, as if they're, I don't know, overlords scouting for adepts. That is... Jeez. Alright, anyway, we'll be going into game number 3, of course, momentarily. Thanks for all the follows, by the way, as well, guys. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So, good sling of numbers right there coming in as well. Hopefully you're enjoying the StarCraft 2. Alright. Switching colors, it looks like. Alright, I think we're... Wait, why does he want to switch? I'm not completely certain. Alright, looks okay. Looks okay. Here we go. Game number 3 will be played on Oxide, guys. Oxide. The Bronze Age map. The beach map. Trap does nonsense with his units sometimes. Yeah, but I mean, I'm still a little bit confused. There wasn't that much going on elsewhere where you would allow those units to be moving around like that. Now, I mean, to be fair, there is still some point to be made. It is still a relatively new map, right? It's not a map that we've seen for an enormous amount of time, but it's been around for a long time, so you probably should know about these things, but maybe it was like some fringe click somewhere where it's just like, it's the difference between clicking here and here that made all those units split up or something like that, you know? This isn't a trophy-sponsored event, that's right. This event is into the Alpha X territory. Ah, wonderful. Alright, Trap getting that block right there on that hatchery. Looked like a fairly early on drone, but did not manage to get it regardless. Pretty common thing to have happen these days, of course. Trap been doing this for the most of this series, as far as I remember. He tends to blow up his units with disruptors way too frequently. I haven't seen this too much, Mango. I've not seen this too much myself. Man, is this just something you guys do every time when we are watching together Trap play? Mango mentions the disruptors blowing up his own units, and Gemini being like, "Oh, come on, it happened one time! It happened one time!" This is so much fun. I'm sorry, this is like watching the two guys from the Muppet Show being like, complaining to one another. Ah, this is great. Maru nukes himself consistently. That's right. Every time I see Maru nuke, he just runs his entire army in there. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it's just this thing. It's like a nuclear extraction or something like that. Maybe Maru hopes that one day there will be some freak accident, some sort of radioactive response to his units, and it will combine all his units into some monstrosity of a Fallout-like wasteland creature. And we'll be able to take over the world of StarCraft. At least Maru laughs about it afterwards. That's true, that's true. He did mention, though, that if he didn't have the other game already in the bag, and if it was a really close situation, in a way, where he was doubting if he could or couldn't take the series, probably wouldn't have laughed as much. Probably wouldn't have laughed as much. Alright. Let's see what's happening here, guys. Are we having a Stargate, right? Okay, this is how far behind I am. I'm just reading chat right now. I'm having such a good time. Alright, there we go. Oracle play, guys. Oracle play. Let's focus on the Oracle play. There's no way you can blow up your own units using Oracles. There's no way, right? He gets one. Gets one drone there. Not the cleanest engagement, but I can get why he didn't want to hang around too much and try to rotate around and such. I mean, most of the time queens will be on the way as well. He's got a second oracle coming in as also, so might as well combine their strengths. Again, a fairly large size of links here. Let's see, how many do we have actually in total? 12. Okay, that's not too many. Can cause quite a stir. Will be enough to hopefully catch these adepts right here, who are taking out on some drones as well. Ooh, just barely getting the kill on that other adept. Not losing any other drones here. Oracles coming in. They are doing a bit more though. Careful! Oh, that's unfortunate. Losing that oracle right there. So, I mean, 6 workers in total. Not sure if that is enough here to really give him any sort of an advantage. Okay, gets the sentry there. Solar making some headway in that move. We're gonna see 2 upsets here. I would be very surprised, but if we have both Innovation and Trap going down to Solar and Ragnarok, this would be a crazy day today. This would be quite something else. Now, Trap, he's still in a playable position, guys. Don't worry too much about it. I do believe that he can still bring this home. Can still make this work. He's going for Blink, by the way. That's not something you see all day, every day versus Zerg. There's a way to play this. Maybe Gemini can tell me. How often does he go for Blink play versus the Zerg? She's just gonna try to go for an attacking? I mean, he has +1 finishing up as well. Against just pure... This is his standard build. Alright, well, nice. Alright, there we go. Let's deny the fourth and then go home. Ah, alright. Well, that's what he did. Nice. Well done. He doesn't even know he denied the 4th just quite yet. Is he just gonna be... Oh my god, Solar. Look at this stuff, dude. This is some big mind games here going on. It's like, wait, wasn't there a base here? Didn't I just see a base being built here? It's a Blink Colossus. Ah, alright, alright. So there's the Robotics Bay. Thank you, man. Thank you. Teaching me the ways. Alright. This is like, alright, let me just grab it over here then. Is Trap still gonna have enough forces now to deny this base? There's quite a reasonable sized army now for Solar. Those Lings and the Ravagers may be enough here. The force fields being a little bit annoying. But yeah, that's no longer enough to really deny a 4th base. Interesting. 2 Adepts not gonna try to commit to this harassment either. Single Oracle still floating around. Ooh, that is gonna go down. A lot of moving pieces here for Trap at the same time. Gotta commend his multitasking here. Going in for the scout. Let's see what he gets to see. The Spire, Baneling Nest, and the Hive Tech on the way. Overseer not gonna have as much luck with the scout. Oh, that's a nice blink. Ooh, look at him go. Some sweet moves. Hive Tech. Now, what is he going to do with the Hive Tech here? Is it just going to be for the Greater Spire? Looks like it will be, right? Corruptus on the way? Yeah, most likely just going to be the Greater Spire here. That's what I would assume. I mean, that would make sense then with the Banelings also, right? Get the Banelings so you can cover your Broodlords underneath. Now, Banelings, they aren't that strong anymore versus Stalkers, so they do struggle a little bit more so now with defending against Blink Stalkers for the Broodlords, but let's see how he does. This is a massive area here for Solar to fight. Looks like he doesn't want to take the fight just quite yet. There's a lot of Corruptors on the way, of course, so having those in this battle would benefit him quite nicely. Is Trap actually gonna commit here? Is he just waiting for some of the creep to recede? Looks like he will be. Baneling speed almost about to be ready as well. Another good reason for Solar not to take a fight just quite yet. Trap B is biding his time as well here. He didn't have extended thermal lance either, so both these players kind of missing some crucial upgrades before they really could allow that fight to go on. This map really seems small. Yeah, it's a fairly small map, not gonna lie. Whenever I play it, I'm always a bit surprised at how quickly you get to the other side of the map here. Comparable to Light Shade, yeah. Right, good catch there on those Zerglings that were trying to make a run around. Couple of adepts going for that, what was previously the 4th base. Well, almost the 4th base. Catching 2 drones. Bit of a response there as well. Banelings here, they may get a bit more damage, but a good split from Trap. Only allows for a handful of probes so far. It's not over just quite yet. The probes near those cannons are not going to get bothered too much. So smart move here by Solar to just kind of rotate around and deny the mining for as long as possible. He's putting in a lot of micro into this as well though, but... I mean, let's take a look how much that actually did. I think it's this spike right here, right? So that's not too shabby, not too shabby. It's a great response from Trap as well, though, to be fair. Alright, here we go. What are we doing so far? Still just going for the Corruptors. We don't have the greatest... well, we do have the greatest Spire available. Not going into it just quite yet, though. Trap already preparing for the Greater Spire with his Fleet Beacon response. Careful of those force fields. There's the Storms. The Storms landing quite handsomely on those Banelings. And not a lot of them manage to get the connections, but still quite a couple do manage to do quite the dent into this this force off of Trap. Does Trap still have the confidence and in his army composition to keep pushing forwards here? I don't know if he should. I mean, army supply is favoring him, considering that Solar is army supply right now. It doesn't have the Banelings, and it's mostly Roaches and Ravagers. Storms still available also. And still no Broodlords being made. I guess if you start to make them right now, then that gives the perfect opportunity for Trap to push in there, right? So, makes sense not to go for it at that moment, but... Here we go. Trap with a bit of counter aggression. Link Stalkers. Gotta be careful as well. Storms need to land on top of those Banelings. Where's the Storms? Can start spreading out those Stalkers. Yeah, they don't take that much damage anymore from those Banes, but still the Colossi do get picked off. There's a couple of Immortals, Archons. A reasonable amount of Gateway Force as well here, actually. Could still come quite hard hitting through the Zerg forces right now. The Zerglings, beautiful Storms on top of those. See the bios from those Ravagers not quite connecting either. There's the Broodlords being created. 8 of them. But this is the problem now. I guess the Corruptors don't have anything else to shoot, but this is a lot of supply here for Solar that is still just waiting to be utilized. And it's this, you know what, a ticking time bomb basically for Trap guys. That's trying to get delivered into Solar's base here. Right there are the Broodlords gonna finally be able to force Trap backwards, or at least off to another base here. They'll be able to get this base on the left side. Pretty certain that he should be able to. With that Archon, perhaps shooting some drones should be a good amount of damage here. The drones being utilized there. One hatchery goes down, and the recall comes in as well. Smart play there for Trap. Sends the Stalkers home the regular way, and then the rest of the units with the recall. Very, very good bit of harassment, and down goes this hatchery as well. That's a quick, successive kill on those bases. Another base being taken here will be found out by those retreating Stalkers and picked off also. Yeah, Solar, he is running dry on resources here. As Trap has been on full bases for a while as well. He needs to get himself another base also. Both of these players not really strapping with loaded cash pockets right now. Alright, let's see. This is a scary place to try and push into with that with those storms in the background. Does he have the storm? Yeah, he does. He has quite a few of them. There are 2 locusts coming in now as well. Will they get anything done? Not really. That's unfortunate. Oh, Dark Templars now as well. They do reveal themselves to this army. I thought he was just going to try to take care of the army, but this could come quite handy. Let's see how much they are getting done. Some harassments on this left side base here. More DTs going into the main. Still a queen available there, but... There goes 1. Going for the hive tech, not the quickest thing to kill. That's a single DT here. Solar's sending maybe a couple too many units here to deal with this 1 DT. He's maybe sending a couple too many units as this army for Trap is coming in. Still has the Brood Lords to buy some time. Needs to keep this base alive. This is one of the most important bases right now. I think this fight could mean the life or death for both of these players as the most important base for Trap as well, being constructed just below here. Let's see how well the Brute Lords will be able to stay alive. There's not that many Blink Stalkers to get underneath them. There's still a couple of Storms though to perhaps get underneath. There we go, 4 Stalkers blinking forward. There's the Storm. Archons trying to get closer. Is it going to be enough though? There's the yoinks on the Colossi. That's a nice move there, but I feel like Solar is taking the worst end of this trade here. And yeah, there it is. GG is called. Trap being able to take out Solar there in a 2-to-1 fashion in this best of 3. Very well done.